This is going to be one of the most amazing Halloweens in Call of the Wild, and that's because on October 21st, we're getting feeders added to Call of the Wild. Literally, hog feeders and deer feeders are going to be in the game. We've wanted this since the beginning of Call of the Wild, and they always said it wasn't possible. It's never going to happen. Well, not only are we getting hog feeders, which that alone would have been incredibly amazing for me personally, but we're getting bear feeders, we're getting deer feeders, and even moose are supposedly come into these feeders. I can't even believe it.
The Game Feeder Pack is a collection of 3 different game feeders that will each help you take your hunt to the next level. The box feeder is great for deer and deer-like animals. The post feeder is great for attracting many other kinds of animals to a location. But keep an eye out for bears. All that food attracts these scavengers, who might come looking for a snack of their own, sometimes damaging the game feeders in the process. But thankfully, there's the bait barrel feeder, which when placed properly, can help the bears and hogs stay busy at one location, leaving other animals free to eat from your other feeders. You might want to place a feeder where you know animals have previously travelled between need zones. And you'll want to find a spot that's out in the open, where you can watch from afar and strike when the time is right.
I'm just going to be happy enough to hunt hogs and bear, because we used to be able to hunt deer in real life, but now you can't even bait them anymore, at least in Wisconsin and many other places around the United States. I know you can't really bait deer anymore either. So the fact that we're going to potentially be able to get a chance at getting a great one from a tree stand while using a feeder, I mean, what are you even gonna do? Imagine you're sitting here, you got your tree stand set up, and you got a deer feeder right there. You know, you come here 3-4 times a day, you just come in the stand and can do your homework or, run a couple errands. All of a sudden you're sitting here after taking down maybe 150 to, 500, even 700 deer. Next thing you know, you just look and you got a great one feeding on your feeder. Just like that. A great one whitetail. So imagine sitting here. This is what it's going to be like right here. We got our feeder set out right here, 350 yards away, and the whole time we got deer moving in. Just like that. Look at them. Look at them coming in. Like crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 deer coming in, including, looks like a 160 buck there. Oh, a bear could be coming in too at the same time. I didn't even think about that. Small buck there, another small buck there, and another small buck there, and a gobbler as well, way off in the distance. But there's a good buck. That's the 170 buck, it looks like. There goes the bear. All right, now we got to decide which one to go for. One trivial. Got him. And just like that, we'll have our buck down. Or a bear, if that's what you prefer. Or a gobbler. Or a hen. Well, we're gonna switch it up and go for this gobbler, since this whitetail doesn't want to cooperate. Got him. You know, on second thought, we could take down that buck too. And he's down. So we got 2 whitetail bucks down, and we also got, holy, more bucks. We also got a gobbler down. Just imagine, we could be sitting here with a feeder, watching and waiting for any one of these bucks to come in. We could either take one or not and wait for a bigger one. That's the beauty of having the feeder. I mean, it's just cool, just as cool watching them, to be honest. You don't always have to shoot the stuff. Ooh, there's a 180 buck right out there. Holy, that's a good one. That right there is a good one. And that's also a smoked buck. But yeah, just like that, we could decide which one we want to take or which one we don't. But all I know is it's going to be so much more relaxing now. Who the heck knows what's going to come into that feeder? We have no clue how it's going to work. We have no clue what the percentage is going to be like. As far as like the hunting pressure in the area. I don't know if maybe after 5 animals, then it gets high hunting pressure, but still, just the fact that if you're in a stand, it should be able to calm that down a little bit. And, you know, maybe I would like to see to where you can take down 10 animals consistently before the pressure starts to build up, and then they won't come back for a couple of days. I would say 10 is a pretty good number. Not sure what you think about that, but that's just my opinion. Just like this right here. So we'll have this wide open field, and instead of trying to catch them as they're cutting across, which sometimes is good and sometimes you don't really have very good good action. You'll sit there for a long time and you won't see anything cut across. But if you come there at the perfect time, early in the morning or late in the afternoon, there's a good chance you might catch eyes on them. But gone are going to be the days where we have to sit there and be completely lucky on whether or not they're going to come across. Now, we can just throw up a stand right here in this tree and just sit here and relax all day, waiting, watching, and hoping for something good to come in. And just like this, you got a wild boar right out there. Imagine if there was a feeder right there and we could just sit here waiting for more to come in. However, in this case here, that's a pretty decent one, so we're not going to be passing that thing up. Of course, he decided to lay down on me. But once he gets back up, that's going to be a different story. Just like that. Right there. Look at how he's walking directly away from us, not giving us a shot. Almost. Oh, he definitely just messed up that time. Oh my God, he messed up big. We smoked him. He's going down. Wow, he stopped, turned broadside. We held it right behind the front shoulder, squeezed the trigger, and just dusted that hog. Absolutely smoked him. What I usually like to do, especially in the Hunter Classic, is I'll put out a feeder 150 to 200 yards away from a tree stand, and I'll just sit in that stand watching, waiting, and seeing what comes in. You know, whether or not I want to take down a wild boar from the stand, that's up to me. But usually, if I'm sitting in the stand and then I spot a giant, you know, 5-inch tusk or whatever, 1100 plus in the Hunter Classic, then at that point, that's when I would decide either I can take it now or come back the next day, set up on it with the recurve bow or something cool like that, and then get ready for him to come in a whole separate time. And he was going this way. He piled up right here behind this brush. Nice wild boar down. 101.78 gold, a 327 yard dead center, perfect lung shot. Man, that's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. And the thing is, you could even go for like 100-yard shots on the feeder from a tree stand, whether you want to use crossbow, compound, or even recurve if you really want the ultimate challenge. And you'll be able to just sit there pretty much all day trying to make that happen on something like this. And you know what I'm most excited about? The fact that we can use these feeders for bear. So we'll be able to essentially hunt for the grizzly bear with a bait. Can you even believe it? Like I said, to be able to hunt these is going to be absolutely amazing. Imagine we could even literally just sit up here on the top of this bridge and we could have 2 different bear baits. I don't know how many we can have technically, but I would definitely want to have one bear bait right there in the middle, and we could watch it from here at 300 yards away. So therefore, you could pretty much hunt from either side of this peninsula, or I guess either side of this bridge, to be able to, you know, take a shot on the bear. Whether or not he's big enough or not, that's up to you. For instance, there's a decent 6, and if you just want to get one and haven't shot one in a while, there you go, you can take them. But if you already shot 3, 4, 5, then at that point you'd probably want to wait a little bit longer for something bigger to come in and show up, and next thing you know, you show up maybe a week from now, 2 weeks from now, and you got a 9 legendary out there. But also that kind of brings me to my next thought, and that is, just because you got a bait there doesn't mean we're going to keep getting different animals. You might actually have to shoot some of the smaller ones to get the bigger ones to come back. I never even thought of that. But for this case, all that matters is we're going to be able to use a bait. And wait for the perfect angle to take the shot. Smoked him. Just like that. Bear is down. Oh, it's gonna be so cool to have a bait here in the snow and see the big old grizzly coming out. Man, that's gonna be awesome. Absolutely incredible. I mean, you can see him coming from a mile away. Oh, look at the size of that bear. Oh my God. That thing is huge.